Dear students, good morning. Let us start the discussion on today's newspaper, that is 28th May 2018. The first article, a deal that can be done. It is about the ongoing Korean crisis. You know that a summit was supposed to happen between Kim Jong-un of North Korea and Mr. Trump of United States of America, but it did not move forward. So in this context, let us understand why did this summit is supposed to happen in the first place. You know that Japan and South Korea, these are under the nuclear umbrella of United States of America. These are the allies of USA. And North Korea, it was strategically close to China and also Russia. And North Korea became particularly dependent on China after the collapse of USSR. So, North Korea and South Korea conflict is the legacy of the Cold War between USSR and USA. And after 1990s, you know that a unipolar world has come into existence. And today, North Korea issue is more seen as are more seen from the perspective of China rather than from the perspective of the Cold War. And Japan, it has got its problems with China, and North Korea has its own insecurities. So, what are the insecurities of North Korea? If you see Gaddafi, Saddam Hussein, one thing is very clear, the West is no way respectful to them. In spite of they coming into an agreement with the West will always look for an opportunity to overthrow them from their offices. So these insecurities are natural for any dictator, and Kim dynasty is no way different from that. And second aspect is Kim sees nuclear weapons as a security against the actions of the West on the regime. And third thing, by sitting in the summit, he wants to get economic relief, and also he wants to be recognized as a legitimate power, and he also wants to get sanctity to its nuclear program. Now, what the Trump is stating, denuclearization is a precondition for any summit talks. And also, the establishment in the United States of America is not in favor of any summit with North Korea. Why is it so? The reason is very simple. With the existing status, South Korea and Japan, these are close associates of United States of America. Already Japan is becoming more and more skeptical about the US and its intentions under President Trump for the reason that he is talking about America first, and his movement out of economic partnership RCEP, all these have put Japan under insecurities. And also Japan is no way involved with regard to North Korea peace process. So in this, the Japan is slowly moving towards China, or there is an understanding developing between Japan and China. And in the North Korea, the China and Russia enjoy considerable weight. So if this issue is realigned, obviously US has to share its influence in the region with other powers, that is Russia and China, which is not interested to. So the major problem is the mindset. The United States establishment still sees the world as unipolar, and they have to take forward their might, and they are not willing to share their influence and power in a region with the other powers. Because of this deal got postponed. And second point here is the hawkish stand of the Trump establishment. They suggested Gaddafi-like solution. You know that what happened to Gaddafi after he has entered into a deal with the West. So obviously it will heighten the insecurities. To lessen the insecurities, either South Korea or USA did not do anything. They have went ahead with military exercises. All these have sent wrong signals to Kim Jong-un in North Korea. That's how we need to see this article as a health scheme that should not fail. It is about Ayushman Bharat. There are two important components to it. What are they? The first is wellness clinics. The sub-centers, 15,000 sub-centers will be reconfigured as wellness centers. And these wellness centers will provide for 12 sets of services. And the next is insurance scheme, National Health Protection Scheme. 40% of the Indian population will be insured to the tune of 5 lakh rupees per family. So, if this program has to be successful, what is necessary? To upgrade the sub-centers, you need finances. But financial allocations are very poor. And this insurance kind of system, if it has to be successful, healthcare services shall be available in the vicinity of the family. In India, the healthcare services are very skewed. It means they are urban centric, and also certain states do not have proper services. So, lack of availability of human resources and then other services can make this program to go wrong. So, in this scenario, what is the major focus of this program has to be? We have to ensure greater access to healthcare, especially in the underserved areas. And the second factor which will determine its success is the cost of services. Wherever the public sector has sponsored the insurance programs, there was strict regulation on healthcare costs. In India, the private sector healthcare costs are getting escalated, and most of this escalation is the due to higher costs which are being charged. So, unless there is regulation of the healthcare sector, it is not expected to be viable. So, these are the 2 points. A blow to civil service ideals. Recently, a proposal has come from Prime Minister's office that the service allocation and cadre allocation to the aspirants and to the selected students has to happen after the foundation course. As of now, cadre allocation and service allocation is purely based on merit as per the UPSC merit list. So, here, what can be the intentions of the PMO? So, we can closely observe the people during the foundation course so that we can judge their mental capabilities and abilities towards driving them to a service. It means there is necessity to closely understand the individual before giving him to a particular service. That was the intention of the PMO. And long back, Kothari committee also has recommended the same. And after that, Satish Chandra committee, Alag committee, these did not recommend for this. So now if we carefully observe, here there is a chance to corrupt the civil services, to increase nepotism and favoritism. How it can happen? The UPSC is a constitutional body and members are having independence of office. Unlike this, training institutions, either it's Labsana or National Police Academy or Tax Academy, all these academies, directors, these are appointed authorities of the government. Ultimately, they are under the control of the government. And second thing is favoritism. For example, an IPS officer's child is there. Obviously, he can get some favoritism from the academy director or someone else. So there is a scope for favoritism and nepotism. And third thing, constitutionally, if we see, UPSC is only allowed to determine merit. And other institutions are not supposed to determine the merit in a way for allocating the services or the cadres for public service. So that's what Article 320 clearly talks about. The second, capabilities of our training institutions at a single place are not more than 400. Then, when we have to train different people for foundation course in different institutions, there is an element of subjectivity. The third important point is many of the selected candidates, they retake the examination to get into a better service the next year. So here, if we have to make foundation course mandatory, it is kind of depriving them a chance to compete again, to prove themselves again. These are the points discussed in this article. Vote for choice. It is about abortion laws in Ireland. You know, Ireland is a Catholic country and it recognizes the right to life even within the mother's womb. So it equates right to life of fetus and also right to life of the mothers with each other. And if you take India, if life of the mother is endangered, that can be a condition for abortion. It means the right to life of mother dominates the right to life of the fetus inside the mother. But Catholics do not believe in abortion. Obviously, the abortion laws were very tight. But recently, the Ireland is liberalizing, social climate over there is liberalizing. So it has allowed for gay rights. I think even the Prime Minister now is a gay. So in this context, Savita, a woman from India who settled in Ireland, died because of these abortion laws. From then, there was a movement to relax the abortion laws. And in Ireland, such an occasion has arisen because of the people voting. And people have voted overwhelmingly, that is two-thirds, in support of the abortion laws. Now, up to 12 weeks, abortion can be done at the will. And after 12 weeks to 24 weeks, if there are fetal abnormalities or any danger to mother health, it can be aborted. Greater than 24 weeks, if there are any fatal anomalies in the fetus, yes, it can be aborted. That is how it is changed. The next is stress test. So it states that India needs water management reforms. India is a water stressed country. So rural India majorly suffering from this water stress. And states like Gujarat, Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, everyone are suffering from lack of sufficient waters. So, water management reforms shall include increasing water use efficiency, desilting the tanks, and providing for right kind of use for agriculture, industry, etc. Most of the times, our agricultural water use is non-productive. What I mean is, for example, in Maharashtra, which is a water-starved region, it is not good to cultivate sugarcane, but political reasons drives us so. And water use efficiency in the industry is very low. And freshwater resources, these are getting polluted. So these all needs management reforms with regard to water is concerned. That's what this article emphasizes on. Parties out of purview of RTI Act, says Election Commission. So you know that the Central Information Commission already has judged that the political parties are under the purview of RTI. So these are public authorities as per the section 2H of the RTI Act. But today, it has been stated by the Election Commission that they do not come under the RTI. And the matter is pending before the Supreme Court. Probably it's an overreach of the Election Commission because that is the prerogative of the CIC to determine, and Election Commission entering over there is a kind of overreach. Rise of farmers will propel country's growth. Prime Minister Modi, what he stated is his government is more inclined to the welfare of the farmers and also to increase the post-harvest benefits, and also processing industry. 6,000 crores will be allocated for Prime Minister's Kisan Sampada Yojana. So, and he states clearly, Bharat Uday only can happen with Gramodai. India protests Pakistan's Gilgit-Baltistan order. So, Pakistan wants to bring Gilgit-Baltistan region into its federal structure because China-Pakistan economic corridor is going through this area, and China wants Pakistan's central administration to have a greater control on this area. So in line with this, Pakistan wants to integrate this with the federal structure, which India has the objections. Why? Because Gilgit-Baltistan region was part of the former Jammu and Kashmir, and Jammu and Kashmir as totally was acceded to India by then Raja Hari Singh. So in this context, Gilgit-Baltistan is also part of India as per the claims of our country. So India also sees China-Pakistan economic corridor from the sovereignty dimension. A year on, Udan is yet to soar. So Udan is a regional air connectivity scheme. Even after a year of implementation, still teething problems exist. The major reason is related to infrastructure bottlenecks, especially development of the airstrips. Second is, many of the air operators which were permitted to operate between the secondary cities are not fully operational. Because of this, the program is going slow. Decoding Europe's new data protection law. You know that the European Union recently brought in general data protection regulation. It has streamlined entire data protection measures. So in this scenario, the privacy is getting redefined because of this. And Indian companies which are doing business with European Union, either in goods and services, are expected to follow this. It means the compliance costs with GDPR are bound to rise for the Indian companies, and they are yet to gear up for this. That's what this article states. Finally, the notes is available to you at laix.in/civilsprep. Thank you very much and all the best.